This video was made possible by Gamersgate.com. Download games anytime, anywhere. Skip it up and that up. Battlefield 4 on the next-gen consoles has become the soap opera of the gaming community. 900p on the PS4, 720p on the Xbox One. Then I hear they're both going to be in 1080p. Then I hear that they're both going to be in 900p. But what would happen? How much of a difference would there be if right now they stay the same and the Xbox One stays at 720p and the PS4 is at 900p? Would the game look that much better? Well, there was an interesting article posted showing a bunch of where they had, I believe, the beta running at 720p and 900p, and then they took some stills. I'm going to show you three. The link to the article will be below in the description. They have like a billion pictures there. And tell me what you see. Do you see a huge difference between 720p and 900p? Take a look real quick. Now, obviously, this is a still taken of the beta where you have all the buildings. I know that the big tall glass building collapses down. I haven't personally played the beta. I'm not really into playing betas. Every time I play them, I get aggravated, but that's a different story. But anyway, look, there's 900p on the left, then it goes 720p, 900p, 720p, 900p. I don't care if you have 20/20 vision. Please do me a favor and press. This video is 1080p and it has very clean encoding. It's the cleanest at least I can do. So you're not going to see too much compression. Go up to that screen and tell me if you see a difference. You won't. So this picture is ridiculous. Unless you have a ginormous TV, you're not going to notice the damn difference. And you know what? It's not going to run at full 1080p so far on the PS4. So we're not comparing 720p to 1080p. So if you had a 50-inch TV, you'd probably see a huge difference. You're still going to see pixelization if you have a ginormous TV. Remember, it has to be 42 inches or bigger. So if you have one of those big-ass 70-inch flat screens, it's still going to look somewhat pixelated with a PS4. It's not going to run at 1080p. So far, it's going to run at 900p. So not that much of a difference. Moving on to the next picture. I can't see the damn difference again. I pressed my eyeball up against the screen. I have a full 1080p monitor. I can't see it. It looks exactly the same. That extra resolution that the PS4 might be getting isn't really going to help it. And here's the final picture. I don't see a difference. I don't know what to say. If I saw a huge difference, you guys know I will be honest and say I do see it. I don't. I blew these up. I have 1080p monitors. I don't see the difference. I don't know what to say. I don't think that those extra lines of resolution, if these are actually end up being the resolutions of the Xbox One and PS4 versions, I don't think those extra lines of resolution on the PS4 version are going to make a difference. I don't know what else to tell you. What concerns me the most, and I wish I could make you guys understand who get angry, not all of you get angry, but there's a good chunk of you, when I talk about resolutions and 1080p and 720p, what concerns me is that they're having a tough time getting to 1080p when 1080p has been a thing for like the past 10 years. And I know the argument's going to be, oh, Rich, they're just coming out with these consoles, they have to learn them. One, both Sony and Microsoft said they made the architectures like PC so they're easy to program for. And two, even if they had foreign architectures, 1080p has been around for so long, these consoles should hit 1080p 60 frames per second without breaking a sweat. Now, why do I keep harping on this? Am I a graphics whore? I love beautiful graphics. Obviously, I bought a GTX 780, but no. My favorite games of all time are from the Super Nintendo era. And it's not because of nostalgia, it's because of gameplay. Gameplay is always more important than graphics. Graphics are very damn important. It's not as fun to play an ugly game, but gameplay is key. But my thing is, all at the tail end of this current generation, not the one we're going into, all the developers said, we need more horsepower. We can't make games that we want to make. And then when you see games like Battlefield 4 and other games coming out that are struggling to get to 1080p, it concerns me because what's going to happen a couple years down the road when they really have the hardware nailed down hook, line, and sinker and they're already hitting limitations? They're already hitting limitations now. They pretty much know the hardware. And even if they didn't, like I just said, 1080p shouldn't be a thing. It should be able to do it, no problem. How are they going to innovate if they're already hitting a wall with the horsepower of these consoles? They were saying the lack of horsepower in the previous generation, or current one, however you want to look at it, is what was hurting the innovation. If they're already hitting walls as soon as the consoles come out, how are they going to innovate a few years from now? That's what I'm getting at. It isn't about the graphics. It's about all of these AAA developers saying we can't innovate because of the hardware, and now they have new hardware and they're already hitting limitations. Think about it. Alright guys, I've said my piece. I hope that some of you who always get pissed off when I talk about this can understand I don't care about the graphics. I care about the hardware and the fact that it might be too limited for developers to innovate the way they said they wanted to. That's what I care about. So make sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for supporting Review Tech USA. Have a good one.